Give me a D and a G. It's the Dawg and Gus Show. It's the Dawg and Gus Show.
Hey, Dawg, your beard's looking flickin' great, my man.
Thanks, Gus. I've been using the Bush Beard Wash.
The what now?
At Bush Beard, they know that every man with a beard is a unique beardo. And that's why they offer a wide range of products to cater to every beard's needs. Whether you have a long and luscious mane or prefer to keep it short and sharp, their products will help you achieve that perfect look.
From the nourishing beard oil and balm to the refreshing beard wash, their products are made with all-natural local ingredients to keep that beard healthy, soft, and lustrous. The beard comb and brush are designed to detangle and shape your beard, making sure you always look your best.
At Bush Beard, they're dedicated to providing the best possible grooming experience for all the beardos out there. So why settle for an average beard when you can have a glorious, well-groomed one? Try Bush Beard products today and unleash the full potential of your beard.
Be sure to use Dawg and Gus 10 and get 10% off your order.
Bush Beard, the small town brand with the big old Canadian heart. Welcome to the Dawg and Gus Show.
Soon to be on Be Kind Radio.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like that. We're doing that every time. I can't wait to say now on Be Kind Radio.
Well, you've got a month.
1 month.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got going on?
We're going to talk with Brittany.
Hi, Brittany. How are you?
There, I'm doing great. How are you both?
I'm good, and so is Dawg, I think.
I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking.
So for people that may not know who Brittany is, she's the rave queen of Ottawa. So we got to talk about the scene and, tell us a little bit about your passion for it and things you're working on.
Definitely. So my story is something I think a lot of people resonate with because when I went to my first show, it was a music festival called Escapade Music Festival here in Ottawa. I completely fell in love, but it actually started a long time before that, my passion for electronic dance music. It was my dad that got me into it because he is French and I was just learning how to speak his language. So we actually connected through music, and his favorite artist was Armin van Buuren. So it really stemmed from then. And, like full circle moment, he'll be coming hopefully to Escapade this year with me and seeing Armin again. So yeah, I really, really love the dance music community. Escapade was my first show, as I said, and I ended up meeting a whole bunch of like-minded people and falling in love with the culture. So it's something I really like to educate people on because a lot of people, they see ravers and they have certain stigmas associated to them. You can let your mind wander, but even just clothing and things like that, it's a freedom of expression that I really think is so important. So I really like to just pass the word along about culture specifically. So peace, love, unity, and respect is the basis of dance music culture. And in the States, there's actually an extra R for responsibility. So we really like to take care of our people. And in the pandemic, I felt like I really needed to expand my skill set and all of this education that I like to bring forth in all parts of my life. So I ended up creating a project called Rave about it. And I really want to showcase all of the best parts of the dance music culture that I know it to be and get rid of these stigmas. So that's how it started. That's the brief overview, but I just really love everything to do with dance music and all the connection that comes with it.
Nice. Escapade's been around for a while.
Yes, it has. And there's going to be a new location this year, so I'm really excited to see how that's expanded and what that might bring.
Where is it going to be this year?
It'll be at the RA Center, so next to Billings Bridge. It's all outside.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Have you ever been?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I used to play ball down there.
Oh, to Escapade, you're probably asking.
Oh, no, I've been to the RA Center to play baseball.
I've been.
I've never been to Escapade.
In my youth. Yeah, it was a different time. But yeah, it was a good time.
Oh, I'm glad
guess,
to hear that.
Yeah. What's not fun about dancing around and being young and vibrant, you know?
Well, that's actually one of the stigmas. Everyone thinks that it's a certain age group, but actually it's for all kinds of different people, all kinds of ages. So don't feel like that's something that might limit you. Really, it's such a welcoming atmosphere that I think it's something everyone should do. And I'm not just saying it changed my life, it's changed multiple people's lives. So if ever you're interested or even open to it, I really encourage you to come back and see what's evolved and what has in store for us this year.
Herman Van Buren's pretty good. I'm pretty down with that, actually.
And I do recognize the name, so.
Oh, yeah, he's a big,
I know,
he's a big,
I know.
big one.
Huh?
I think he's French, isn't he? He's from France.
Armin is not from France, no. Maybe you're thinking of, yeah, that's okay. Maybe you're
maybe
thinking
he's Dutch.
of...
He's Dutch or Belgian.
most DJs are, yes, Dutch, for sure.
Yeah, Van Buren. Yeah, it makes sense. But good
Yeah.
for me, eh? Yeah. I don't know, because sometimes there's French people that have Dutch names in France because they also have a very similar flag.
It's true.
Thanks for that, dog. Just look silent treatment over here.
Well, I'm not saying anything because I don't know.
No, there's other stigmas too. Like obviously, drugs would be one of them. I would suspect, and I think that's where you talk about responsibility and sort of thing. Would you agree?
Yes, for sure. That's actually something, like even for my mom that's not really familiar with dance music, when I first started going out, she was really concerned. And that's where you really have to educate that, of course, there's going to be drug use in any type of music festival. We think of the rock shows or anything else. But unfortunately, media really likes to paint raves as the trouble and the cause of a lot of these drug uses. So I'm not saying that there's none. I don't want to ever paint it like that. But the rave scene is something that I think is really trying to step away from those types of stigmas. And we often do a lot of training sessions for naloxone and things like that. So I would say that even though it's painted that way, it's definitely not all about that. There's so much more to the dance music community, like the types of people that are there. And that's another stigma too, actually, now that we're talking about it. A lot of people think that ravers are a certain type of people that they just go out to party or whatever the case may be. But a lot of these people are doctors or lawyers or any types of walks of life. So I think it's important to really step away from that stigma and make sure that people are aware of all of the other beautiful things that are in this scene.
Nice.
Well, it seems to be a popular thing if you've moved. There was at Lansdowne before on the grounds at Lansdowne, right?
That's right. Yeah, we actually
And
had
now it's
Shaq
moved.
last year.
Well, I live down on off Elgin Street, and I'm going to admit that EDM is not my style. I had next to nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was sitting on my front porch one day and saw all these folks walking by, and like you said, it's a they're dressing the way that they want to dress, and I don't have a problem. I'm just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And my landlord told me, he goes, well, there's an EDM festival. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then
his landlord
continued on.
British Euro guy, so they know all about EDM. That's
Yeah.
a big thing in Europe, right? So yeah.
Well, actually, now that if we could piggyback a bit off of what you said, just what people are wearing. So I know I've talked about freedom of expression, but oftentimes a lot of people are using it as a creative outlet to show all of their art. So even things to the patterns that people are wearing, it's actually graphic designers that are making them, or the use of AI. So there's a lot of room for creativity there. And I did mention about Plur. One of the big things, I would love to meet with you in person right now to do this with you. But actually what it is, have you heard of Candy? Kandi?
No,
I have not.
No? Okay, so Candy is something that is also tied with Plur. It's basically a candy bracelet that people make ahead of time, and that's part of the culture. So we actually get together for what's called a candy sesh, and then you're actually making these bracelets for strangers that you haven't met yet, or even some of your friends, really truly whatever you feel is best. But on these bracelets, you can put a whole bunch of sayings. I like to put my Instagram handle, and that's another way of staying connected with people. But really, what you're doing is you're trading memories. So you go up to these people, and because it's Plur, you would go peace, love, like the half heart, unity, respect, and then you would give them a bracelet that you think would fit them best. a lot of the times they're sort of silly and things. And I will share, one of my first candy exchanges was at Ultra Music Festival in Miami. And there was this girl that came running at me, and I was like, what is this? You know, I was still getting new to the experience. And whenever she came over, she just so happened to give me one that says old people. So, you know, those types of moments, they're always really funny and memorable. And now that I look back on all of these candies that I've had for years and years, it's something that, you know, it takes you back to that moment. So trading those memories, and the festival culture and rave culture in general has changed so much that we actually are starting to exchange things like, they're called trinkets. So if you've seen maybe that little piece of grass, a lot of people are saying, it's actually a sprout, and a sprout is something to remind all ravers and every people in walks of life to remind yourself to grow as an individual. So these are some of the values that I actually bring forth in my everyday life. And I just think that it's, you know, it's funny things, but they really do make such a big impact. The other day, I actually tried to sprout the mayor, but I was told I shouldn't.
I think he would be pretty cool about it.
Yeah, we've interviewed him. He's actually very cool about stuff like that.
And he's definitely a music guy.
I love that, but I love the message. I think that's so like you bring a lot of obviously positive energy with you, but that's such a nice thing to think. We need some candy, Dog. We need a Dawg and Gus candy.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I need a big one. I have really big wrists, so you got to hook me up with like a big one. All right,
that's okay. And you know, it's not just like a candy bracelet. There's also a whole bunch of different things that you can make. So there's actually different types of people in the rave communities. Some of them are called candy kids, for example, and they'll actually use different types of beads to melt them down and then make images. So it's really cool how people can showcase their creativity, and people have even made full candy outfits. So I just think it's really special whenever someone is authentically themselves and they're able to express themselves how they should. So that's why I really enjoy the community, because I feel like myself, especially with the music that's shared, I go really for the music, but also for the people. I would love to give you candy too. It's a really good networking tool as well.
We'll outsource it to you if that's okay. You can set us up. We'll gladly accept them, and then we'll try and make one for you. Okay.
Sounds good. We can have a sesh.
Yeah,
sesh. Gonna have a sesh.
Are you learning some new verbiage? It's very chill. I'm talking to you, Dog.
Oh, me. I work with children at a primary school. Of course, I already know what sesh is.
I know.
I don't understand half of it when they talk to me, but you know, I think it's English.
Yeah, vibing.
If I ever told them I went to a rave, they would lose their freaking minds.
You should go to the rave, bro.
I should go to the rave.
Yeah.
You know,
I've been, like I was saying,
for
a long time ago.
Too. I mean, like, if you're working with little kids, you've heard of Baby Shark and all of these songs. I mean, yes, I'm sure it's imprinted.
Dude, I sing that in my dreams. Okay, like that. I have 2.5-year-old twin girls. Listen, Baby Shark is life for them, and every one of them. So it's like Baby Shark, and then there's Spooky Baby Shark, and then there's Pirate Baby Shark,
Jesus,
and I'm going banana.
Yep.
So don't play Baby Shark for me, all right?
And Coco Melon. I just got introduced to that.
Yeah, Coco Melon's a good one. Yeah, but it's Oh yeah. Well, it's funny when I used to drive. I still drive a lot, but I used to drive more. And I would put on Sirius XM, and they always have a great EDM channel there. They have a couple, but I remember listening to that, and you'd get like, I don't know, it's just great driving music. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's you know, I feel it's pretty chill when you're driving around.
And do you actually listen to the whole thing?
No, but that's not. I don't do that for everything. No, I'm just kidding.
That's a great part about dance music too, because you don't always need to listen to the whole thing. That's actually why I started listening to dance music too more frequently as a teenager, because you can just throw on your headset to a mix and then you'll just come in at a good part, you know? So I'm also a little bit undiagnosed ADHD. I don't know about you both either, but whenever you hear a song and you can keep up in your own way, I find that's really helpful.
The reason I said that is because Gus and I, when we we went to Montreal for something, and I don't think we listened to an entire song on the way there or back, because he had control of the radio.
Yeah, I was driving.
He was driving, so You know,
I don't think I have ADHD, but I do have an issue with music because I have such a wide variety of choices that I like, and I'm always looking for the song that I need for the moment. And it tends to take hours, and then the dog came 4 hours in the car, and I probably did play one or two full songs, but that's not a lot. It's like 10 minutes, so
yeah.
I think
he
that
wasn't
speaks
annoyed at all.
volumes about your relationship, because if you're able to just sit in silence too, I think that shows your friendship.
Oh, I wasn't being silent.
No, he was verbal.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think Dog and I have ever really had a silent because
No.
we even before we started the podcast, we chatted. Like, that's what we like to do. We like to talk music, we like to talk about stuff like that, and mostly music, really. And yeah, we always getting words in. So it was just the way we are, and then now we have the right platform to do that.
Absolutely.
Yes, for sure.
Who's your favorite artist?
See, I don't want to get canceled, because during the Capital Music Week, I was asked that, and I expressed someone in the moment that I thought was really deserving, Melanie Brûlé of the Ottawa Music Industry Coalition. So I felt like that was neutral when it came to dance music, my preferences. But if I really, really had to get down to it, I really encourage you to check him out. His name is Oliver Heldens, and he has an alias. His name is Hilo. So it's a little bit more techno, but there's so many amazing artists out there, and this could be such a long conversation. Just a little bit of an overview too, but within electronic dance music, there's a lot of different categories. So you have your bass music, for example, and then you might have rhythm and dubstep, and then so on. So house music also has their own genres and things within it. So it's really hard to pick one artist, but I would say that Oliver Heldens is like a maestro, and he's really, really good at his stage presence and his whole branding. So I would say he's my favorite, but locally, that's also something that we should dive into. There's so many amazing artists in Ottawa. And, having been part of the Capital Music Week and hearing all of these industry leaders speaking, it's really amazing to see what's coming. And I don't want to overshare, because these are some really cool interviews maybe you can start to explore too with your platform. But I just want to say that I'm so proud of everyone that is doing their part in the music industry in Ottawa, because, we are about to have so many amazing things happen, not just with venues like the Hard Rock, or even the history that's opening up at the chapters, but really everyone that's contributing, it's making so much magic. So there's a lot of amazing artists out here that are even going internationally to festivals and things. Like, I think of Hamro, for example. He's a bass music artist. And then there's Return of the Jaded, that's really making a big impact too across different provinces and even different states. So lots and lots of artists. And also even on Spark Street, we have the Songs from the Shed. So it's really nice to see some of these artists finally get their time to shine, and also just dance music wise get their message out there. And I think it's really healing.
That's a great way to look at it. It's true. We are growing very fast, and it's wonderful to see.
It's really a shame that Brittany's not really excited about this, though.
She's jacked, man.
Yeah, she's out of control, and we love it.
It's wonderful. She's bringing it's like EDM.
There you go. She's bringing the noise.
Bringing great energy.
Honestly,
there you go.
It's something I just love so much, and I'm just so happy and grateful that you gave me this platform to share a little bit more. So thank you for your time too.
Yeah, no
and
problem.
for being open to it. It's something that a lot of people sort of shy away from, because same thing with those outfits we were talking about. People don't really understand, and just keeping an open mind is something that is so key to life. And whenever you're listening to music in particular, I just find, like I said, there's such a healing aspect. So it's gotten me through so many things in my life, and I'm sure for you both too. So
absolutely.
If I could either recommend other artists or other genres, I'm more than happy to. I'm always just a message away if anyone needs anything as well. But really with Rave About It, it's just to get other people's messages out, because To give you a bit of a background, I have actually been writing for different dance music companies for quite a long time, and that's why I felt like it was my time finally to explore my own passion project. And because I've really centered a lot of my work around interviewing DJs or producers and things like that, I finally want to give the spotlight to AV technicians or, you know, photographers or even bouncers and hear the stories within this community, because for me, I think those are the most entertaining and also the things that people should be hearing about, the people that build the community up, and not just within dance music, but all around too. The things worth raving about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raving.
She,
Now-
she slipped that in.
She slipped that in a couple times.
I'm a
So
little
did
bit
you,
of a
And we're well. By the way, we're open. We're open because we are curious. We love music. So to have this platform obviously is great, but also we get to meet great people like yourself and
Mhm.
talk about different things. Because if we were just pigeonholed into one genre or something
No.
like that, we'd be.
Well, we're not.
It wouldn't be that exciting.
We're not
actually.
like that with our music styles anyway.
No, I don't know how to
And-
listen to a whole song.
No, yeah, but just to be inclusive, I like to listen to just a little bit of everything, and it's important to, like you say, keep an open mind. And I find a lot of people my age don't. Like
No,
they're so
you're the anomaly, man.
seriously, man. Like I have friends that I'll play stuff and they'll go, "What the is that?" And I'll say, "Well, it's this," and they're like, "Well, turn it off." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to turn
Play
it off."
Rio Speedwagon.
Yeah. Sorry, that
So what
Brittany,
do
that
you
was an
typically
That's it.
that was
No
a little
worries.
inside joke he threw there.
Sorry.
I was going to say, what do you typically listen to? Because I'm sure we can find something in dance music you can both groove to at least.
Well, Dawg is very much into the more indie stuff lately, I would say. And then also he's got a wicked collection. For me, dance music, I was always into, like, Fatboy Slim was a big one. I love Daft Punk, even though, those aren't maybe EDM, but Daft Punk, when they first came out, when that Homework album came out, I was like blown away. I love that. So that was for that, anyways, for that genre. But I'm old. I'm older.
Uh-huh.
You're
Age
older.
is just
Yes.
a number. It's how you feel. But,
Yeah.
I will recommend to both of you, since you're such music lovers, and you were talking about Daft Punk, there's this YouTube video that they made for Coachella. It's I believe the 20th anniversary or something like that. And they actually brought out Daft Punk because they show all of the progression throughout the years. I would highly recommend that you check it out, because I know for me as a dance music lover, seeing Daft Punk on the stage and how they just literally like changed the game for everyone when they came out with these helmets, it just gave me goosebumps. And seeing the rest too, there's a lot of things I didn't know Coachella did, like the hologram of Tupac and things like that. So I think it's a really interesting thing to look at, and it's also free, right, on YouTube. So
What's it called?
It's a
Coachella's 20th
Coachella
anniversary.
documentary.
Oh, that's cool. You know who I've also been in is Gesaffelstein. I love that guy.
Very
Is
good
that how
choice.
Yeah. I'm
Well
down.
done.
I'm down with that one.
Let's bring it back to the escapade. Are there going to be some local artists there as well, or is it just the bigger names like Armin?
No, great question. So for sure, they always showcase local talent. I find that they do a very, very good job to bring in new artists as well. One of my recommendations actually from earlier is Anthony Cole. He's really, really good. And actually, as a profession, I'm an event planner. So I was able to sort of help these artists too along the way. And Anthony, he's such a hard worker. He also has a company called Days Ottawa. So if ever you're interested in attending an event, I would suggest that one. So he's going to be playing. There's a lot of other artists on the lineup, and I do want to mention the females in the scene. They're really making such a huge impact as well, and I really try to be careful with that too, because I don't think gender is so important, although it's not something that is shied away from. A lot of people know that women in the industry always don't get the best outcome, I would say. So Ala, for example, she's played Blues Fest and she's excellent. There's also a lot of really powerful women in Ottawa that are making a difference, like Van Page, for example. She works with City Folk and Blues Fest. So I really think that all of these artists are so deserving, and it's really nice that Live Nations and Escapade and every other organizer that are involved are able to showcase these talents.
Yeah, it's so true.
Cool. We're writing stuff down as you're talking to us.
Yeah.
I appreciate
we're
that.
We're note takers. All right, I have a question, and it's gonna be interesting because you're gonna say something that
we'll be writing down.
Yeah. Okay. You just robbed a bank, and you're running to your car, and then you start the car and you're driving off. What song's playing?
I love it. I've never been asked that.
Well, I hope
not. Well, the other time she robs banks, nobody asked.
Yeah, that's true. Nobody would ask.
Well, the funniest thing is that a lot of dance music, if you're not that good of a DJ, and I'm not trying to be at anyone or anything, but you have a lot of those sirens that are played in mixes. So I would say something with the siren for sure to tie in that moment. And then an actual song, I would say something with a lot of energy. So I would actually encourage you to explore Pendulum. So something probably from them. They're very aggressive, but a good driving kind of music. I know you were mentioning that earlier too. So Pendulum is someone I think that would be good to listen to if that was the case. And I would not do that,
right.
Just to be clear.
Okay. Yeah. Clarify that for sure.
And we are not making a playlist of songs to rob banks with, just so we're clear about that.
We should though. I'm gonna go through
Spotify.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, and then we'll get canceled from Spotify because we're talking about
bank robbing songs for kids. But I think okay, I'm gonna choose one just to mess with you.
Alrighty.
Harder, faster, stronger.
Ooh, I love it. That's great.
Daft Punk. That'll be a good drive.
Okay. And I'll just stop with harder, faster.
Yeah. You should go with Aleph.
Okay. Whatever he just said.
Aleph by Gazaffelstein.
And how do you spell that?
Aleph?
No, Gustaffelstein.
Gestaffelstein.
Send it to me.
It's pretty awesome. You've actually, because you go on TikTok sometimes, you've heard it.
Oh,
for sure you've heard it.
Yeah.
Like he's the guy that comes out as a DJ and he's wearing like this crazy. They call him the Dark Prince, I think. Right? Is that right, Brittany?
You would actually know more than me.
All right, fine.
Let's just say yes.
Yeah. So he's this French DJ. He's from France.
Or is he Dutch?
Yeah, no, he's not Dutch. You would think he'd be German, but he's not. He's French. And then he comes out. He's all in black. The whole thing's black. He's wearing this like crazy black mask with like lights as eyes, and then he rocks the show. Like he's really good. He's been at Oshiaga. He would like blew everybody away apparently. So
cool.
I love it. Well,
Okay.
now that you're talking about that, a lot of DJs or producers, they have to come up with some type of quote-unquote gimmick. So you're talking about stage presence and things like that. So you've seen artists maybe like Marshmello. He's come to Blues Fest where he has the Marshmello helmet and things like that. So I find that, even that gets a bad rap, but it is part of the culture. It's really cool to see how people express themselves and market themselves. I think it's a really interesting conversation to see maybe why they're hiding their identity or things like that. So I think it's really fun to be part of something like that where you're just authentically yourself. And you're talking about TikTok too. That is such a tough platform to show who you actually are authentically. So I think a lot of the artists are really trying to tap into what works best, not just for social media, but for themselves. So being an advocate is really crucial these days. What do you think? Do you think that TikTok is a good platform to express yourself?
No.
Well, for 15 seconds, sure.
Yeah, I think like you said, the challenge is you're not authentic, right? Like you're either doing it for attention. I do quite a bit of TikTok just for fun things for my work. I enjoy that. I do like watching it sometimes for certain things, and but I don't think, like, as a person that's trying to present themselves, although in the music industry now it seems like you need to have TikTok to present your music, which is can be good, but I think it doesn't show the true talent. It does show like great artists come out of that, but you know what I'm saying? It's like the true artists that are working the grind and doing the stuff that they need to do, and now they got to have a social media platform, and I think it's a lot. I think it would be a lot of work, and
Especially
yeah.
if you're trying to, make really, really good productions. I find that a lot of the time in the music industry, I'm not a producer, to clarify, but from what I've seen, it's really tough deadlines and a really, really heavy competition. So I once did an interview with someone local, Nick Packer. His new DJ name is Topaz, if ever you're looking for someone else to explore. But he really said it so perfectly. He said, "We rise by lifting others." And it really stuck with me because that's really what it should be in life. You should be able to help each other out and succeed together. So
Agreed.
I would say, yeah, with TikTok, it's really hard and it becomes an obstacle where you're trying to always compete with the next best thing or even just what's trending and things like that. So it does take away from some of the quote unquote magic, right? Um, and I just think that we really need to go back to the live shows. So if ever you are open, it's really good to just get back into the crowd. And if you're not into crowds too, oftentimes that takes a lot of people away from the experience. But just know that there's always something for everyone. If you need to be away from the crowd and you just want to really take it in, or maybe you just want to sit quietly and just listen from afar or get an experience just by tuning into someone's TikTok and things like that, there's always a way to really appreciate the experience and the community aspect as well as the music.
It's like she knows us.
Yeah.
Because Gus would be up at the front of the stage and I'd be right at the back.
Cool.
And it doesn't
I love
matter.
it.
It doesn't matter what genre. I'm not particular. It's always the same. I'm always like when I go to see the heavier shows at, say, the Dom or something, I'm always away from the crowd because I don't need to be stuck in the middle of the mosh pit. It's just not my thing. But I
That's
do
fair.
enjoy the shows. And
I don't go to the mosh pit anymore,
no, you don't.
but I used to.
I never saw you in the mosh pit.
I'm
Because we
gonna
didn't.
put you on to something. There's something in the rave scene that's not a mosh pit, but you and all like this. It's called the Wall of Death. Have you ever heard about it?
No, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah.
So DJ Snake, if you heard that name,
I know
they
that name.
basically awesome. That's so good. Well, look it up on YouTube. He basically has a world record where he splits the crowd and then he says 3, 2, 1, go, and everyone runs at each other. So that's the Wall of Death. And, I'm not trying to paint the rave scene in a bad way, but that is all energy, and that's really what it comes down to. I think it's really fun, and for someone at the back, it's really good to take in the experience too. You get to see the production that's in place, whether it's lasers or pyro and things like that, and it's also the best spot to dance, in my opinion. You have more room, and that's also another type of raver we haven't touched on, but there's shufflers. Are you familiar?
Dog's a shuffler. Yeah. We're not familiar with the term,
honestly,
but
if you're in
I
that
would
mosh pit,
I suspect that he's the person in the back just like swaying.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Well, if
That's
you're
what-
in that mosh pit, we call it like the shuffle move is Running Man, but you'd probably be a running man through the mosh pit.
I'd be running for my life, man.
I was a '90s Running Man guy. I did the Running Man.
Brittany, you
And
do
you know-
understand if I got knocked down in a mosh pit, I'm not getting up, right?
Yeah,
you know that.
He's finished.
I'm done. Just leave me here.
Yeah.
Totally fair, but that's where Plur comes in. No one would ever step on you, especially at a rave. Like, absolutely not. We take care of each other. We lift each other up. And you're also saying that you're close to the front. We call those rail riders. So those are the people that are there from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. They don't leave. They take in the experience. They headbang. They make friends. They trade candy, whatever it might be. And I can actually share some festival tips too, if ever you're looking for some. But if you're at the rail, don't say I said this, so keep it between us. But they have to give you water. So that's the best spot to go if ever you need a quick little water bottle at a festival.
I'm a water drinker for sure. I'd be all over that.
Yep.
There used to be a bar called the Atomic here in Ottawa, and this is before your time, Brittany. And it was an after hours bar, but that was downtown. And you'd go there and drink water, $5 bottle of water back then, and
That's nice
and dance all night. Yeah, it was a crazy time. No phones. It was a beautiful time. Actually.
It was a beautiful.
It was like
No,
you know.
I'm so happy you said that because that's actually something that's in a big conversation right now. A lot of people, they see videos even on TikTok, like you were saying, where people are just glued to their phones. There's a lot of these big artists now that do these really incredible visual productions. So there's people like Eric Prydz. You might be familiar with his work. He's been around for a little bit. Well, he has this show called Holosphere. So it's a 3D kind of show where things come out at you visually and you're taking in the music, and there's Anima that has really sold out some huge venues like the Sphere in Las Vegas and things. So you see a lot of those artists where people just take out their phone and they're not living in the moment. And for me, a personal goal is to really make sure that people are in the moment, and it's something I'm guilty of too. So it is hard to step away from that, but I can just imagine the experience that you had back in the day whenever people were just living in the moment. And you see that in even shows like Friends, you know, like you look back and people actually go up to each other to meet each other instead of just being glued. So I think it's a special time whenever you're just able to connect to the moment.
Totally. And even at any concert now where people just have their phones and are like recording it, I just find that like I'll take a few videos and a few pictures, but like I like to put my phone away and like I'm here, you know, I'm enjoying the moment.
I take them because we post them, right? So
there's that, but it's also,
I don't take a lot, and
but you want to watch the show,
yeah,
be involved, right? And
yeah. And also no judgment. If that's how you want to experience the show and you want to be on your phone, then I don't think it's anyone's way. Exactly. It's all plur.
No.
You don't want to be judging.
I'm judging.
No, he's judging. He's like that.
I'm judging. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
No, he's not.
You should just add to their experience. You know, something too that we're talking about phones, but in everyday life, for ravers, we go up, we offer to take people's pictures, but if you're just out in the open, even downtown Ottawa, and you offer that to someone, it sort of catches them off guard. So I think just spreading kindness in general, even through technology, if you are able to, is really special.
Yeah. I had that happen on Elgin Street one day. He goes, "I like your style. Can I take your picture?" And I'm like, you know me, right? I'm just like,
why?
I was like, I didn't say why. I said yes, and he took a selfie with me, and I was just like, "That's so Elgin Street." And then
they knew who you were, bud. They're like,
"No, he didn't.
That's Dawg.
Yeah,
take a
Dawg.
picture with that guy.
That's Dawg.
He's gonna be super famous.
Yeah. Someday.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Can I ask about why you called yourself Dawg?
Sure. A long time ago, I used to have a small DJ company, and it was called Dancing Dogs. And then when I started hanging around these guys like Gus and all the guys we went golfing with and stuff, it kind of got shortened to Dawg. And then when we decided to do a podcast, Gus came up with the name, and he was like, "Well, how about Dawg and Gus?" And I was like, "Great. What's the Gus part?" His last name is Angus.
Okay.
So that's where the Gus part came from. Yeah, so it's been around for, 20 plus years, almost 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And now it's its own
entity. And I don't know how to respond anymore. When people ask me, "Are you Dawg or are you David?" I'm like, whichever one you want to use.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have two people.
Yeah.
Two people.
Mm-hmm. And they're both the same.
Yeah.
It's always good to have an alias. It's how you express yourself. Thank you for sharing that with me.
No worries.
Yeah, of course. And Gus is short for Angus.
Yeah.
So it was like a perfect.
Yeah, it was funny.
People called me Gus too back in the day. So
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That threw us off there, having a question asked of us.
Yeah, it's nice to be questioned. Yeah.
So the Escapade, is that an all age festival, or do you have to be of drinking age to go?
So they definitely give out wristbands for the people that do want to drink. They check IDs and things like that. I believe it's 16 plus.
Okay.
But there's other festivals around that are flexible like that too. Another one I wanted to mention is on the Gatineau side. If you haven't been, highly recommend. It's called Riverside Festival. It's at the Museum of History. So actually outside, it's around September. And then you have the beautiful view of Parliament and really cool artists. Tiesto is coming this year, so it's one to explore.
I know that name.
Yeah,
Let's
I've played him
go.
for you before. I've played him in here before.
Yeah.
So that's
Well, I know it from before from the DJing days too, though, right?
oh,
So
man.
people would ask.
You were connected back then.
Yeah, man. Well, it's not
You know how
because
to
it's.
DJ?
He is a DJ. He is.
Okay.
I'm not that kind of DJ. I'm not an EDM DJ, but it's never like, when you get somebody at a wedding going, "Can you play some trance?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know what that is."
Yeah. Google.
Yeah, so you're on their phone going, "Okay, find me some trance music. Find me some trance music." So yeah, I'm more of a,
Well, back then you had CDs too. So
Oh my God. It was the worst when I had to carry my albums around. That was like horrible.
Yeah.
Playing with turntables and people are skipping the albums, and I got frustrated, and yeah, it didn't work so well that way.
That's
Now
very
it's-
impressive. That's not an easy thing to take on.
No, it was fun. I've kind of gotten away from it now. I do 4 shows a year with my buddy Liam that we do special needs dance, and that's like that's the most fun I have DJing now.
Can you tell me more about that? It sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's something we got into a couple years ago. It's basically these ladies put together a thing every 3 to 4 months, and it's for adults and young adults with special needs like autism and Down syndrome and stuff. And they all come together, and it's in Vanier, and we play for like 2 hours, and it's the best because whatever we're playing, they're up dancing and they're smiling and they're having a great time, and it's like I just love it because it's just there's nobody sitting there going,
What's this song?
I don't like this. They love it, and they come up with their requests, and I get them to write it down at some point, and it's so much fun. I don't think I've never ever had as much fun doing a show as I did with these ones.
Oh, that's really nice. I'm so glad something like that exists. My mom works with special needs students, so I'll tell her about that one. And what do you think is the highlight for you? Is it the connection that you see through the music, or is it seeing their smiling faces? What is it exactly?
Yeah, it's that because they're not picking like the newer, like they will pick newer stuff like Olivia Rodrigo and stuff, but they're going back to like the 70s, like the ABBA and freaking like, stuff. And it's just, I love it when they throw something at me that I didn't think that they knew about. And that makes it fun for me. It's like, can you play Sugar Sugar by the Archies? I'm like, are you kidding me? Yes, I can.
Aw, that's great.
Yeah. And Liam is younger. He's in his 30s. And he looks at me like, what? Like, he doesn't get it. I'm the music guy, and he's more the technical, set up the stuff and bring all 700 lights and fog machine and stuff. So he's
He likes that
Oh,
stuff.
that's great. It sounds like there's some production to it too.
yeah. Well, we both work in the school system, and he works at a high school, and he does a lot of the music stuff for the high school. So yeah, so he that's his jam.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
There's actually something I wanted to mention too. So they always have these weird names, these DJs, but there's this one out of Montreal. His DJ name is called Snails, and he's even created his own type of genre. It's called Vomit Step, but that's besides the point. The reason why I'm telling you about this is because his girlfriend, she actually is a published author now, and she sells her book even on Amazon and things, and it might be something you wanted to look into for the children that you are interacting with, because it's called the ABC of Raves. I personally haven't looked into it yet, but I've heard really great things, and it's always really nice to see the connection that it brings through music, and also just with building the future for people that want to connect through all these different types of genres. So I would look into that if I was you, and it's really nice to hear about these initiatives. Thank you for hosting them and organizing them.
Well, it's just, like I said, he started off and then he was like, I need your help. I'm like, I'm there. And it's just, like I said, it's just a good time. I took Murph to one, a good friend of mine, and he freaking loved it. He goes, when's the next one? Can I help again? So
That's great.
I left him for a minute, and my friend Murph has no idea how to work a mixing board. I'm like, Murph, I need to go to the washroom. You're going to have to, no, you can't leave me. I'm like, Murph, I'll be gone. I'll be back before the song's over.
It'd be fun to see Murph working.
Oh, he's just like, he's too funny. He's like, he came up with his own DJ. Because I asked him with the radio station, I asked my friends to put playlists together for me.
Okay.
And he's like, well, do I get a DJ name? And I said, if you put a playlist together for me, you can give yourself a DJ name. And he came up with, what was his DJ name? The Allfather.
The Allfather?
Yeah, like Odin, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Oh my God. And yeah.
It's heavy.
But he's like, I said, Murph, well, come on the show with me one day and we can do a show together. And he's like, I have to talk? I'm like, yeah. He's like, no, you won't do it. So
What would your
fun,
DJ names be?
what would your DJ name be, Gus?
Well, mine is Bootlegger.
Yeah. See, to preface that, I'm starting a internet radio station. It's going to be going live on the 1st of July.
Yeah. Be Kind Radio.
Yeah. And Gus is doing a show. His is going to be Outlaw Country.
Yeah.
And it's called The Outlaw Frequency.
That's right.
I have my show, which is the Doghouse Sessions, and it's an indie show. So it's anything indie from the city and beyond. And then you'll be interested. We've got some DJs coming out of the US. We've got one from Austria, and they're like the EDM DJs.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, congratulations.
doing,
on the undertaking.
Yeah, thank you. And then Friday and Saturday nights is when they're going to be doing their stuff. And I listened to a drum set, drum beat or whatever it was called. It was, wow.
Drum
It was
and
like really
bass?
cool. Yeah, drum and bass. Yeah. From one of our
Nice.
guys. Secret Science is his name.
Oh,
Dog's
see, these
gonna-
DJ names are so cool. I honestly have never thought about what mine would be because, to be honest, I never really wanted to learn how to DJ because I go to these shows and I don't want to hear the mistakes. I just want to go and I want to enjoy. But yeah, it'd be kind of hard to pick a DJ name, so I'm glad you guys came up with something.
The Bootlegger was
It's a throwback.
throwback. Yeah. But that was it's fun. It's like your pastime or whatever, so it's like Dog started this radio station and it's now grown. It actually I'm pleasantly surprised. to be
Yes.
honest with you.
Well, at Renaissance, a friend of ours, he's taken like the reins and he's just like, I got this guy, because he's very much connected into the DJ community.
Okay.
And I've got a few people that I've got coming on, but he's grabbed like 8 or 10 people to do shows and to do drops and stuff. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Looking forward to hearing.
It's a little daunting because there's a lot of work involved and stuff, but we're working towards it. We just posted we made T-shirts. We're trying to raise money for this Chio, and we've already got like 40 plus pre-orders for this shirt.
Blowing up.
Well, make that 41. I'm going to sign myself up.
Oh, nice.
Just follow Be Kind Radio on Instagram and on Facebook, and we will follow you, and we will talk. We'll bring up the show for sure. Well, actually, not this year, but next year, because it's out before we go live. So,
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's gonna be good.
yeah.
Yeah. Brittany, what's
Sounds like a lot of projects.
where does all your positive vibes come from? Because you are an absolute pleasure to talk to.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'm sorry for interrupting so much, though.
No. This is your show.
Honestly, I would say just, even whenever life is really hard, I did have a really hard year this year. I just feel like coming back to gratitude is something that really helps me a lot. So anytime that I feel any type of way, I just always try to say like 3 things I'm grateful for. Why don't we try now? What are 3 things that you're both grateful for?
Jeez. I thought this was our show.
It is, but
I'm just teasing.
You go first, bud.
No, it's not fair. You're much better at it than I am.
I know, that's why you're going first.
Oh, well, I think I'd have to go with. It's gonna get all mushy though. I'm gonna say Gus he's been there for me when I've had bad days and bad weeks, and that happens. And he's always been there. This podcast has been here for me. And now the radio station with like just the way it's blowing up is just scaring the crap out of me, but I'm actually very excited about the whole prospect. So
I love it. That's great. And you?
Sunshine. I love the sunshine. So when sun is just shining, I do enjoy a nice, beautiful day. I'm grateful for like again, it's like small things, but like I have problems like that you think about in the big scheme of things, like, you know, certain things have come up. Oh, I have to replace this at my house, or I have to do something here, but I have the opportunity to do so, and I have the means to do so. So I'm grateful for that. And then I'd say dog. I mean, why not? I mean, he's kind of annoying, but I again, it's a pleasure to do this show. It's a lot of fun. We meet amazing people. Like, honestly, Brittany, you've been really like we're
A ray of sunshine.
Yeah, it's just lovely. It's like positive vibes, you know. And
You
and
know?
that's yeah, we have this opportunity. We have the equipment. We have the means. Again, it's a fun thing for me to do. It's an outlet. It's
Yep, that's well said.
you know, yeah, it's certainly fun. That's for sure. I don't care about the radio station as much, but again, it's like, you know, I'm just kidding. I'm happy for you, buddy. I'm happy that things are happening for you. But yeah, no, just being able to do things that I want to do, you know, like they always say, the man with health has a million dreams, and the man without health has one. So I think being healthy is certainly something that we should be happy about, you know.
Absolutely, for sure. My stepdad actually has been fighting long COVID, so you know, even music for him is so huge where he's not able to do a lot of things. And for me, I think that that's part of my positivity too. It's really just music is everything. It's energy, it's connection, it's honestly such a beautiful gift to the world, and I'm just so grateful that we have it, no matter the genre, no matter what the case may be. And just I always turn to it because I think that it's so healing and energizing at the same time. So I would say that's why I'm always like this, because you have to be. It's hard out there. And I think that music is a special thing to bring forth, and even the values I was speaking about with Plur. You know, it might sound cheesy to someone listening in, but it's not. It's really something that we should all bring forth in every part of our days. So, yeah. And I'm just really grateful for the opportunity to speak to both of you for music, and for everyone in my life that I'm encountering, especially lately. I find that Capital Music Week was a really big blessing. And, you know, like now we're going to see it annually every year in Ottawa. So I'm really excited to see what's next, and all of the things that we were hearing about during Capital Music Week is going to boom. And I also want to give a huge shout out to the Nightlife Commissioner. Metzger, you always have the biggest, like, I don't know. He has such a bad rep online, and he's such an amazing person. I just really want to say openly that, you know, even though you might think that someone isn't doing a whole lot, the amount of work behind the scenes that is happening is so huge and major. So even though all of these things are happening, you really just can't focus on it. You really need to focus on the magic behind the music. And that's what Metzger brings to the community. And his board too works really, really hard. It's such an amazing group of people. So I just really wanted to make a point to say Metzger is doing great things, and you're going to see that in the next little while in Ottawa.
Beautiful thing.
Good to hear.
Easy to be negative when
Yeah,
you're not doing the thing.
Or if you don't see the whole picture too, right?
That's right.
You know,
That's exactly
and that's a tough one. You know, coming into this city and trying to bring the nightlife to the forefront, tough job to begin with, especially coming from Montreal, right? That's where he's from.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
you know,
he's amazingly experienced, and I had the opportunity to see him speak, and truly, I mean, just even being bilingual and being able to speak different languages, he had such a way of connection, and he's actually a DJ too. Not many people know that, and you know, just his way of expressing himself, but all of the experience that he has so far has really helped the community, even though you don't see it. So, like you said, it's easy to put a lot of negativity to something, but we don't need it in the world. We really need more kindness, and I just hope that people understand that and really work at it, because it's something that is an easy switch. It costs nothing to smile at someone, you know?
mm-hmm.
It's true. Yes.
Well, we look forward to hearing more from our
The nightmare.
as we call him, the nightmare.
And he's
Night
not.
Commissioner.
He's really not a
Night
nightmare.
No. I don't suspect he is. I mean, it's funny how people get behind this negativity.
Yeah, when they hear.
But life, like, there's a lot of negativity out there right now, and like you said, being positive is a better vibe.
Mhm.
We ask everybody this question. I'm interested to hear your
Uh-huh.
take. So we have 2 decades of music. So there's the 80s and the 90s. If you had to choose one or the other, which would it be?
Oh, it'd be the 90s, because that's whenever I came into the world, and also whenever I feel dance music was really cool. There was so many interesting songs, and you were talking a lot about social media too earlier. I mean, we didn't have things like that back in the day. It was really just, you're in the present moment, and I feel like that's what's missing. So definitely the 90s for me, to answer your question, and hopefully we get more of that kind of feel back into the music, even though it was making a comeback with artists like David Guetta and things like that. But yeah, I just think that was a special time. What was your answer? 80s or
Well,
90s?
I'm the 90s. That's why we asked the question. I'm the 90s. Dog's the 80s. So
Okay,
that's why we
I love
asked.
it.
It's a pretty close race.
Yeah, it's not.
No,
Yeah, you're just being nice about it. I'm getting my ass kicked
he is.
over 3 years, and I don't think I've got anyway.
Okay, so tell us what PLUR stands for again.
Pardon me?
PLUR. What does it stand for again?
Yeah, so it's peace, love, unity, and respect. And then the extra R, if you put it on, is responsibility. But really the candy portion and the values is what I like to really express, not just with the acronym, but really the values that you bring forth. And yeah, I just hope one day everyone gets to experience that.
Beautiful. So I actually like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. So it's the 20th and to the 22nd of June at the RA Center. That's where the Escapade Music Festival is going to be happening. Quick question. Outside
Sure.
of the EDM music, what else do you listen to?
I don't want to even say this, but my stepdad I was talking about, he listens to a lot of what I call old people music. So I used to listen to all kinds of different things when I was growing up. But honestly, I was like a Rise Against kind of girl, a Billy Talent kind of girl. So I did like to branch out. Lamb of God even sometimes, and I just feel
Wow.
like yeah, it's something people don't really associate with me, but I love it. And it's really fun to experience all these different types of, I'll say culture, different types of community, because, you go to a rock show and it's a different type of feel than ravers. So I think it's really fun to be open, but I do like to incorporate, those past types of genres that I was listening to into the dance music realm. So there's even artists, I would love for you both to check him out. He's in Montreal now, but his artist name is Apache, and he actually hired an orchestra, and he incorporates hip-hop as well as electronics. So that could be something you can explore if you're looking for a little bit of a mesh, and he's really cool. He even has like Russian types of language throughout his music and things like that.
Wow. I'll check that out for sure.
Yeah,
well,
you will.
Well, listen, Brittany, we appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you down the line somewhere. And
For sure. Yeah. I'll be in touch. I'll give you guys candy.
Yes, we have to hook that up for sure.
That's interesting. We got to learn how to do it, bud.
Yep.
Yeah, get out of here.
Question for you both, though. Will we see you on the red carpet next year for Capital Music Week?
Most likely.
I would love it. You did such a great job.
Thank you. Yeah, we had fun.
We had a lot of fun, and we hope to be invited back next year. We'll have to talk to Melanie, but I'm sure
she'll remember.
She loves us.
I mean, we interviewed
or me.
Her. We started. We got what did we went 4 years ago, I think.
No, we've gone. This is our third year.
Oh, okay. So we went
twice at the Bronson Center, once at the NAC.
Yeah. So we've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed it. We've had a good relationship with O Mike too. So we're lucky. We're kind of connected and yeah, it's great.
Well, we're looking forward to being bigger and better next year. Like we talked with Double Experience about it. It's just going to keep growing, and we'd love to outgrow the NAC.
Yeah,
have it that big that we need a bigger venue.
Expanded. Yeah, I think that would be really interesting to see, and that's sort of what I was hinting at earlier too. I think that with all of these amazing people involved and all of the changes, I think there's going to be a lot of really cool expansions. I'm personally excited for the Hard Rock Hotel. There's a new venue opening up that's going to be quite the large capacity. So don't worry, Ottawa, there's lots of things coming. And hopefully we get to see more of Dawg and Gus on red carpets, because truly, guys, it was really cool. You stuck out.
It's truly what
awesome.
Ottawa needs.
More Dawg and Gus on red carpets.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I would have a red carpet everywhere if I could. I mean, that's how I walk around in life, you know. Charmed.
Gus loves that stuff.
Yeah, I like being the center of attention. So don't give it.
We're raving about it. Rave about it.
Oh, well then.
Is there a Instagram page for that, Brittany?
Yes, there is. I do want to say that it's going to be growing in the next little while. I'm just transitioning into a new role in events now. So I'm looking forward to getting back into it and really diving into those interviews we've talked about with AV technicians and things like that. So it's Rave _about_it. And there'll be a lot more content and things like that coming soon. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak about it, and also being open to everything too. It's nice to see, and hopefully we catch you on a shoulder for a shoulder ride at Escapade or something.
I'll probably be carrying somebody.
Yeah, I don't think you want to have a shoulder ride. I'm a big guy, so is he. So,
well, no, that's everybody likes the shoulder ride on the tall person because then they can see everything, you know.
Yeah, but
and your back will fold though.
Yeah, I would fold like a cheap chair.
Well, Brittany, thank you again. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you both.
Cheers.
Let's hold up.
Dawg and Gus, Dawg and Gus, Dawg and Gus.